The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? Just want to thank everyone for joining us in our ProjectSight in a Flash demo series. While ProjectSight consists of several modules to manage your projects from start to finish, today we're going to be focusing on document control module. Each Wednesday, we're going to cover a different module of the ProjectSight in a 15-minute demo. And I'll also put the link to our series webpage in the chat so you can watch the previous episodes and register for the next one as well. So quick introductions. My name is Anthony Severa, and I manage our ProjectSight relationships in the U.S. Northeast. And joining me is Jane Shozenko, who's one of our senior solution engineers, and will be your host for today. We encourage everyone to ask questions, so please feel free to type your questions into the question box, and we'll try to get to them along the way. If we don't get to your question, then we'll follow up with you individually. So over to you, Jane. Let's go ahead and jump in.
All right, well, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining today. I'm just gonna quickly turn off my video so we have uninterrupted view of ProjectSight. All right, thank you so much, and I hope this presentation and your questions will help us show you how today's topic, document control, can definitely be a one-stop solution for some of your project needs, and how we can easily utilize our system as we go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and navigate into our document control. We're going to head there from our project's main screen, and we're going to use either the navigation menu here, or we're going to strictly jump into the module. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. So our document control consists of several sub-modules, as you can see here, but today we're going to cover RFIs, submittals, and meetings. I do want you to point out really quickly that once you're in the module, on the right-hand side, you'll always be able to see my assignments. And those are assignments that are typically assigned for this specific module. So you'll always see what's currently is due for that specific section. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into RFIs. So the ProjectSight RFIs, right? You can probably get all of your answers that you need to stay on top of schedule, right? And to make sure that you are reviewing up-to-date information. So what you're currently seeing on the screen here is a log of all the RFIs that I have in the system, but these specifically ones are filtered down. So I'm currently seeing only open RFIs. So in that case, if you ever head into a meeting and you need to get a log of all of your open RFIs, you can simply filter for that information, right? And then you'll be able to either export that quickly to Excel, or you can click on this little print button and you will see one of the numerous options for different types of reports that you can generate with ProjectSight. Now let's take a look at one of the records that we have here. So I have RFI record 66. And if I click on that, that quickly opens up a panel here, so I can really dive into that specific RFI very, very quickly, right? It's going to give me an assignment. I will see that there's an open RFI in regards to staircase issues, right? And I also see the actual questions they came through. So I can continue working on here, right? I can enter a comment. I can even log an RFI as a response and come in here and attach any supporting documentation. Or I can expand on this record, which will open up the record in its full form. And here on the right-hand side, I can see kind of like high-level information about this record, right? So an open status, the date it was created, due date, the discipline it associates with, right? And I can also see the assignments here. And in the middle, what we typically have with each record is all of that communication and collaboration that you have with the record, right? So I will have all of the questions here, and all of my responses can be entered here as well, right? So if you're assigning this RFI, so for example, it's assigned to Sarah, I can assign this to Sarah, and Sarah will receive an email notification. But Sarah doesn't necessarily need to log back in here. She can definitely receive that email notification and respond via email with all the necessary attachments, and they will be logged in here as well. With RFIs, you can also easily identify if there's any cost, schedule, or drawing impact. We can identify that straight from here. And if we identify that there's potential cost, then we can easily come in here and link this RFI to a potential order, right? That event change process that could take place. With any record on ProjectSight, because it is so configurable, we give you an ability to add custom fields. So if there's something that you currently see that we're not capturing, you can definitely create your custom fields as you see here. The history, and that's probably a very important part here, that gives you full transparency into the actual record. Every single record in ProjectSight will come with that history tab, and that gives you ability to look at any edits or modifications and deletions that pertain to each field within that record. If you ever need to just print out, get a print out of this RFI specifically instead of the actual log, you can also come in here and you will see this little print button, giving you the ability to fully create reports that you need, right, with any type of format. And also you have the ability to download, save to your ProjectSight library, or completely email this form and report to the person or a group that you need. All right. And before I move into submittals, Anthony, do we have any questions that are coming in?
Yes, we have one for RFIs. Can you customize the RFI log?
Oh, good question. That's one of my favorite questions too, because, right, like when you log into a system, right, especially when you're starting to learn a new system, right, you kind of want to have that power to configure and customize it to your own needs, right? Not every person will need to see the same information twice or every day, right? So you would want to able to configure this. So every single column that you see here, right, so all these different attributes that come with the record. First, we're able to add additional columns as we see fit, right? So for example, if I want to just add a discipline here, right, I come in here and I organize the way I want to see that information. I can also come in here and filter, right? Or maybe I want to filter down for that, you know, RFIs that pertain to specific discipline. I can do that. And then once I created the view that I like to view next time I log in, I can come in here and create my personal view, right? That will be remembered, and I can navigate and look at that next time. So yes, the question is yes, and it's very easy to do so. Oh, today is the night, yeah. All right, well, thank you for that question. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to enter them in the chat, and we'll get back to you after the demonstration. All right, so now we'll go back to document control. We'll take a look at submittals, right? So ProjectSight gives you an area, right? We have submittals, we have submittals packages, right? It's just a workspace to gather all that information required, probably by the owner, right, to review and get all these approvals. So I'm going to navigate into the submittals for a second here, and then I'll quickly also cover what the submittals packages do as well. So here, what I see here is just like you saw in RFI, right? And just want you to note the consistency as we move between the screens. So we went from RFI log, and this is a submittals log. So the same principles apply here, right? This is a log of submittals based on the filters that I've chosen on the right-hand side. I can come in here and also filter, sort information that I would like, how I'd like to see it. I can come in here and add additional columns, and then create these custom views, right? If I'm adding a brand new record, this little plus sign gives me ability to quickly add the submittal, right? So I can still stay within the submittal log, and I have this quick panel where I can add a record really quickly. If I'm viewing a record that's already in here, right, so I'm going to come in here and open up one of the records here. So submittal 390. Once again, the quick panel is there, so you can quickly look at information. But if I'm going to go ahead and expand this record, then I can see everything in detail, right? And the same pattern relies for the submittals. On the right-hand side, I kind of see like the high-level information about the submittal, like the number, the current workflow status that it's on, right? The revision number, spec section, the created date on type, right? So you kind of get the gist, like all of that important information that we gather in regards to that specific submittal. If that submittal is part of a package, right, a submittal package where it contains one or multiple submittals, the submittal package will be referenced in here. All right. The submittal can be assigned to a person or a group, right? So you can, if you are, for example, if you're having if you have a certain group within your organization that needs to review all the submittals, you can assign this group here. All right. In the middle here, we have all the collaboration and the commentary. So as you can see, This is in regards to pipeline materials, and there's some documentation for review. If I open up these documentations that were assigned to the submittals, you actually see that ProjectSight also comes with a redlining tool where I can come in here, highlight, comment on that document, and put my probably stamp of approval, right? So I can easily come in here and do all the necessary work that's needed. In addition to that, we have a section that's called tracking. So this is an area where you can start tracking those very important dates, right? So if there's, for example, a specific material that you are expecting to be there on a job site, right? So we can utilize this little lead times here, right? Approval, fabrication, delivery. We can add that up and calculate the final due date that you need that material on the job site. Submittals also come with additional info, right? If there's any additional dates that you need to cover for that submittal, and history as well. All right, if we're linking this submittal, if there's any additional documentation that needs to be attached, right, I can come in here and link. And one thing I want you to take away from this meeting as well is that with ProjectSight, you can link any record to any record, right? Everything is intertwined. So whether it is a photograph that sits in a file library, or whether it's an action item or a checklist, I can come in here and literally upload any record that I have within ProjectSight and connected to the submittal. So there is this connection that you're forming between different records. All right. Any questions before I move into meeting minutes?
Yes. Can you import submittals?
Yes, you can. The ProjectSight comes with this little tool on top with up and down arrow, and this indicates that you can import and export.
Great. Thanks, Jane.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go back to document control, and we'll just take a quick look at our meeting minutes. All right, so our meeting minutes give you ability to manage your meeting agendas, control meetings, and invite the attendees, right, and keep all your notes together. So I have the log here, and we're going to take a look at an owner architect meeting here that I have here. I'm just going to quickly click on that. And once it loads, you should be able to see the meeting agenda that is being populated here. So underneath here, I have all of my items here, right? So items, topic, description, responsible, company status. So you're building your agenda, right? So everything that you see here is configurable. Any drop downs are configurable. This is just a sample data that I have here. You can come in here and add your attendees or group of attendees, right? And when the meeting is happening, you can come here and do a little check mark here to see who's been present or not, right? As the meeting is going and you're conducting the meeting, you can come here and make sure that you update your status, right? So maybe something got closed, so you want to mark that. And maybe if something is still open, you want to expand on that item, right? So I'm going to open up that specific agenda item and possibly want to make notes, right? I may want to make comments, or maybe I want to assign that specific item to a specific individual, right? So I can come in here and work off of this item alone and not just the meeting minutes overall. All right. And once we are ready to create our next meeting, oh, maybe I double click too fast. And I go back here one more time. Once we're ready, right? So once we have made sure that, you know, everything is correct, the meeting is completed, all of my notes have gathered, right? Everything is done. Then I can come in here and create next meeting. And what this is going to do, this is going to allow you to carry over some of the items. So there are some items that you would like to carry over that has been closed, right? Then I'm just going to exclude the closed item and carry over to the next meeting only the only open items that I have. And once I create that, that creates the next meeting with all the templated items down below. If I ever want to get a printout of this report, I can also come in here and get a specific report for that meeting. And I can also email that out with all of the meeting notes. All right, and that was our quick overview of document control. Any questions?
There is none at this time, Jane. So
All right.
just want to thank everybody for joining us. I know that was a speed version of our doc control with ProjectSight, and thank you, Jane, for going through it really quickly. We'll see you guys for next Wednesday for a demo of our budget and cost module, where we're going to explore how to manage invoice, forecast, budgets, and more in ProjectSight. I already put in the link in the chat for you guys to view previous versions or previous episodes, if you will, and register for the next one. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us, and have a great day.
Bye.